Thank you for staying with us. You're still watching The Breakfast on Plus TV Africa. It's time to look at the stories that made it to the front pages of our national dailies this morning. And joining us to review the papers is Jide Johnson, as a public affairs analyst. Good morning, sir. Thank you for joining us.
It's a pleasure to be with you. Good morning to you, Rumi, and good morning to all our viewers all over the world. Thank you for having me.
Good morning to you. Thank you for coming. All right, the papers are quite juicy this morning, and we'll begin with the Punch. So the Punch leads with, "I am loyal to Tinubu, but my actions are mine," and that is according to Obasa. The writer here says, "Ex-speaker takes over assembly with 4 lawmakers. Miranda's fate uncertain. 36 lawmakers kick." On The Nation is also one of the top stories here. It says, "Obasa, I remain Lagos speaker." And on other papers is also there as well. What do you think about what's going on in the Lagos State House of Assembly? Because, of course, Obasa was allegedly removed and Miranda had taken office. But we're seeing here right now, he decided to go back yesterday into the House of Assembly, even though all other lawmakers, kicked him out and said, no, we're not going to let you come in. But what do you think about what's going on? Because this has been called a legislative rascality. I'd like to get your take on it this morning.
Does loyalty to the president guarantee an individual to resort to self-help? Does loyalty to the president guarantees a person or gives him the confidence to personalize state institution? What we witness is desecration of the sanctity of democracy and the true representation of the people, which is the House of Assembly, which is the legislature, and the House of Assembly in particular, with reference to Lagos. As far as I am concerned, if anybody had told you and I that could ever happen in Lagos some few months ago, particularly in December, you say that can never happen, because we used to regard Lagos as the standard bearer for democratic governance in Lagos State, being the flagship of the movement towards democratic governance in Nigeria. It was an eyesore. It was an eyesore. It was not properly managed by the security agencies, who, in my opinion and estimation, were a bit partisan. And they had to quickly, the police commissioner had to quickly do the damage control by saying that, they've restored back the security details of the speaker. In the eyes of the law, Obasa is not the speaker. He's been removed. Miranda has been sworn in, and we don't have any record to the effect that Miranda has either been impeached or stepped down as the speaker of the. So what Obasa did yesterday, it's against the law, and in my opinion, the police need to investigate the characters that were involved. The police need to prosecute and bring to judgment those that were involved in that reckless and rascal behavior yesterday, threatening the peace of Lagos. The police commissioner, in a speech which he gave yesterday, which I watched, where he said that the police is neutral. The police can never be neutral. The police should be in the side of the law, and the side of the law is ensuring that there is law and order. The details of Miranda were withdrawn, whereas that of the former speaker was restored. So as far as I'm concerned, I don't even know how we have gotten to this level. We saw what happened in Osun State. We have seen what happened whereby the security agents are somehow partisan in issues that they should ensure that there is due compliance to the law. If you have any issue, you don't resort to self-help. You approach the court and you wait for the court to make pronouncements. And if we don't make examples of character like this, I can assure you that this democracy that we think has come to stay is being threatened by actions of individuals that feel that they are bigger than than state institution. And I think that because I'm loyal to one individual or the other, I have the capacity to do whatever I want to do. And I can quote unquote break the law because I am loyal to one individual or the other. It's unbelievable. Speakers have been removed across the length and breadth of Nigeria. Deputy governors, Joko Tola Kolumi was removed. Deputy governors have been impeached in Lagos State and within even deputy governors have been denied second term. We have even seen a sitting governor denied second term. There was no fire and brimstone. Why should the interest of one individual hold a state like Lagos captive? And I think it calls for concern for all of those stakeholders in their party and for them to know that they need to do the needful in addressing this situation.
Well, I think there's just a lot going on, and it's important that this is being addressed. So if Obasa obviously isn't the rightful, speaker at the moment, it's just important that he takes a bow, because at the end of the day, what we expect to see is proper proceedings of the House of Assembly and not this legislative rascality, as it's being called. Let's look at another story here.
Just quickly give me this. Just give me like 30 seconds. Someone will say, you see what is happening for that court. How can you situate this? The members of Lagos State House have not decamped to another party. How do you reconcile this? It's not even saying you have 36 on one hand, including himself makes them 4. So he presided over 3. The mathematics is even wrong. How do you equate 4 to 36?
Yeah.
And the entirety of you can only speak if the members want you to speak. I don't know why people don't have self-respect and self-dignity for them to know when it's time for them to quit and leave the stage.
Yeah. I agree with you. I totally agree with you, because in this case, obviously, 36 members just do not want you. So why would you even want to put yourself in a situation whereby you might be witch hunted, whereby you're not even going to have the wherewithal to perform your duties properly? So like you said, it's important that you just know you need to take a bow right now and leave this stage. Let's look at another story here on The Punch. And this talks about, obviously, electricity tariffs. So on The Punch, it says, consumers kick as federal government plans fresh power tariff hike. On the Guardian is also another story here as well. And, well, it's saying federal government to review electricity tariffs for Band B and C customers as, electricity tariff, the subsidy hit 4 trillion naira. What do you think about this? Because there's just a lot that Nigerians are going through at the moment. So we're still buying fuel at a very expensive price, cost of transportation, cost of food, inflation, the works, right? And then now we're seeing electricity tariff to be increased for Band B and Band C customers right now.
You see the ostrich nature of governance. Just this week, the Minister of Works was appealing to those that are manufacturing cement to reduce the price of their cement. We saw in Enugu State, the House of Assembly coming up and meeting up to tell landlords how they are going to charge their tenants. And we saw in Lagos State, I saw one of the aides of the Lagos State governor also posting something to that effect. And I said, government, and I responded with a tweet that government has no obligation to tell anybody what to charge concerning whatever service they are providing, because the service that government is providing itself, government has increased it. Government has removed petroleum subsidy. Even the houses they are building, ordinary citizens cannot afford the housing project, even though the housing project are not. Even all you need to do is to just go and look at the housing project government have been back upon. You see, let them, as far as I'm concerned, whatever tariff they want to remove, let them remove it. We don't even know which is which. You know how many times they remove the tariff under Buhari's administration? And in less than 2 years of Tinubu's administration, how many? That's when we came up with the Band A, Band B, Band C. I have never seen a discriminatory pricing concerning public services, public services utility that people use in my lifetime. And I think I'm in the other side of my 50. So I think in my lifetime, if I talk about it, except in the last 2 years, so for more than 50 years, I've never experienced what I'm experiencing. If someone had told you that Nigerians will be discriminated against on the basis of class, on the basis of status, and you say that's not possible. So for you to have access to light, some citizens can have it for 24 hours, some can have it for 12, some can have it for 8. If they are told you that under a democratic regime will practice that, you say no, that can never be possible. It can only happen in a military administration. But here you are in a democratic regime that is elected by the people, where the sovereignty lies with the people, where the people are actually the ones with the sovereignty, the ones that actually elected these people to be their representative. You say that's not possible. Look, as far as I'm concerned, there's a saying in my local dialect: heaven will fall, do not fall on the head of one individual. By the time they crash everything, probably Nigerians will come to their senses and they will make a demand for their rights, and they will make a demand for quality representation and deliverables of democracy from those they have elected. So let them muzzle the horse and let them see whether the horse will be useful for them, for their farm, for their farm produce. You know, in ancient times, it is the horse that you use. Is the horse that you use in agriculture for your production, for mass production, where we have tractors and the rest of it. It used to be horses that were muzzled. So let them muzzle the horse to death. Let them you have not the salaries and wages of workers have not been increased correspondingly. You have removed electricity tariff. You have removed petroleum subsidy. You have removed everything removable. You have removed it. Whatever form of what citizens can enjoy in terms of public service, everything has been taken away from them. And now you are talking about let them ban everybody.
In their defense, they told you that you needed to. It's important that you tighten up your belt and make some sacrifices. And of course, we'll be making those sacrifices. But the question is, how long? I mean, how long do we have to go through this? And what is the blueprint? What is the 411? What are we running with? Right? That's a good question. What are we running with? How are we going to see these things change in the next few months, or how long? But another story here, which is still talking about tariff hikes and all of that, is obviously the telecommunications sector, whereby it says here that NLC shelves protests as subscribers welcome 35% tariff hike. And this is on the Punch right now. So NLC shelves protests as subscribers welcome 35% tariff hike. So initially, it was being said that the telecoms operators were going to increase their prices by, 50%. But of course, the NLC went on to it, and right now they had a 10-man committee, and they've actually just come to a consensus whereby 35% tariff hike. What do you think of this? I know that this tariff hasn't been increased in over a decade, so we're looking at about 12, 13 years, and it's understandable that they have to increase it, but 50% just seemed like a lot on Nigerians at the moment, but now that it's 35%, your take, please.
Even the one you are paying, what you are paying presently, are you getting value for what you are paying presently? In terms of epileptic network services, that your network will disappear. And then where did they get the 35%? Where did they get the subscribers agreement to that? Did they do a poll, or how did they come about that agreement? Is there a figment of their imagination? I'm not sure that I agree with it, and I'm sure there are loads of viewers of this program that did not even know whether a negotiation was done on their behalf or whether their consent was sought for them to agree with the 35%. I think the NNC has just gone to have a JoJo and a war. A JoJo instead of a war with the stakeholders, and they came up with that we agreed. Where, how, and when. So it's just labor leaders trying to save their faces. As far as I'm concerned, where's the platform, or what was the platform that was used in getting the agreement of all subscribers? In actuality, how many subscribers do we even have? How did they come about that figure that the subscribers agrees to 35% increase? So since the administration, since the inception of the administration in 2015, it took less bulldog. It has become irrelevant. It has become insignificant in the eyes of an average Nigerian. And who is even the chairman of the Nigerian? You don't even know. You don't even know who the person is. They do not even have clout. They didn't even have the presence of mind. Their persona does not even carry any weight, because they don't even have a name record in the eyes of every Nigerian. So if you ask me, as as knowledgeable as I am, who is the NSC chairman, I would tell you that I don't even know, because I'm not interested in even know the characters that call themselves NSC president or TUC president, because they've lost total relevance and credibility in the eyes of Nigeria. How many times have they called for strike, and then suddenly they will call off the strike? And what we have they intervene in ensuring that they ameliorate the sovereignty of Nigeria? They themselves have become partisan. They become interested. At the end of their tenure, what do they want to do? They want to seek one public office or that. Some of them want to go to the House of Rep, some of them want to become senator, some of them want to become governors of their respective states. So the labor union is being presently used as a platform through which people can achieve their political goals and what have you. So they are not fighting for the interest of the mass, they are only fighting for their selfish interest. In any case, that's how the labor union is designed.
All right, let's look at The Guardian. So The Guardian has a story here that says war against fake drugs, how systemic inefficiency, complicity aid multi-trillion naira illicit trade. What do you think about this story? Because obviously fake drugs has been a thing in Nigeria for a long time, and we've seen the adverse effect it has on people, right? And in fact, I think there was a story whereby they had to close several markets because of these fake drugs. And of course, that is, what NAFDAC has been doing lately. But what do you think about it? How do you think we can ensure that, the war against fake drugs, we actually win this war, because people are dying because of this?
That was when NAFDAC was established in 1988. And that's their core mandate. Sometimes we just see they go to sleep and they wake up from their slumber and they do sudden blitzkrieg with the media, and the media covers some of their events, particularly when they have a new DG. And after a while, they go to sleep. It's their responsibility. And they should wake up to their responsibility. And you and I should be able to go to sleep in the comfort of our homes. Be rest assured that the agencies of government that we have given responsibility to are performing the responsibility that have been given to them. So it's the function of NAFDAC and its personnel to ensure that this does not happen. And if you have that happening, it means it's a failure within that system. It means that system needs to be audited. If there's a need for you to clean NAFDAC, to get rid of corrupt officials, because that is for crime to thrive. There must be an organization behind it. There must be some tactical approval by those that are meant to prevent it from happening. And if that happens, all you need to do is to do a clean house. If you don't do a clean house, you can't have a clean society. So there's the need for us to look into NAFDAC. We need a kind of a DOJ like they have in America, Department of Government Efficiency, to look into NAFDAC and read NAFDAC of corrupt elements within NAFDAC, because you have different levels of officials that are charged with responsibility of ensuring that the food and the drug that we bring into Nigeria comply with safety standard. You have the Standard Organization of Nigeria. And sometimes you have agencies with duplicity of responsibility. And with all of these agencies, with the money we budget to this agency and with the personnel of this agency, you should be rest assured that something like that shouldn't happen. But here we are, blaming ourselves, but not holding those that we have charged with responsibility accountable to what we have given them as responsibility.
Oh, well, I want to take this final one on the business NG, and we have just about 40 seconds on this. So it says Naira gains as official FX rate overtakes parallel market. So that's something that, of course, it affects a lot of businesses, the FX rate. And right now that we're seeing it gain strength a little bit, what's your take on it? It's overtaking the parallel market.
Let me do like typical Nigerian politician. I have no comment.
Okay, that's a good one.
But what is it that we should celebrate about that? No comment.
All right, Jide, thank you so much for coming. It's been a pleasure having you on our show. Always a pleasure, to be honest. Thank you for reviewing the papers with me this morning.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right, have a wonderful day. We've been speaking with Jide. Yes, we've been speaking with Jide Johnson. He's a public affairs analyst, and we've just been taking the global stories that made it to the front pages of our national dailies. We'll go on a short break now. When we return, we'll be discussing our first hot topic that talks about the petroleum sector. Please stay with us.